UFC 302 is happening this Saturday, June 1st. Islam Makhachev is going to be defending his UFC lightweight strap against Dustin the Diamond Poirier. And there's no nickname for Islam like the Eagle for Khabib, Diamond for Dustin. He said he's not that type of guy. He doesn't. You leave the nicknames for those types of guys. Some guys don't need nicknames, and he's just one of those. This is going to be a really, really good main event. We will see if Dustin can get paid in full and finish the story like Cody Rhodes did in the WWE. This would be the cherry on top for Dustin's entire career in the UFC and MMA. In general, he's been fighting since, I think he says 17, probably even younger than that because of the streets in Louisiana. This is happening in New Jersey on Lafayette Street. He is also 6-0 in June, but I will say, even though those are all adding up for Dustin Poirier, the one stat that does not bode him very well is any fighter 35 and above going against a younger opponent in the title fight. They're like 1-21 in 170 weight class and below, and he is 155 for this title bout. So he might be 6-0 and undefeated in June, 2-0 here in New Jersey, but that last stat, it's just it ain't working for him. So we will find out if that stat is going to bode well. He is 35, Islam is 31. Does that stat reign true and hold true? The only winner, believe it or not, the only winner that is that 1-21 or whatever the loss is when Tyron Woodley beat Darren Till. Then the co-main event, we have Sean Strickland versus Paulo Costa, and that's going to be a fucking barn burner. We're going to see if Sean Strickland's cardio, if his Philly shell style boxing is going to be able to withstand the craziness of Paulo Costa rushing forward and his bombs that he's going to be laying on Sean Strickland. As Strickland says, he has the chin of a woman. Go ask Alex Pereira. But he got a big call from the UFC. I believe he didn't even lose the title to DDP. I'm not a judge, and DDP walked away and went to South Africa with the belt, so here we are. He got a big call from the UFC and said, hey man, we got a massive bag for you to go ahead and fight Paulo. Yeah, do you want to do it? And he said, well, I fight for money, so let's fucking go. I totally understand it. We all know that he had an opportunity to still be in title contention, and if he loses this, that's a tough look, but he's such a fan favorite that I'm sure after a couple wins, it would be very easy for him to get back to the title, depending on if it's still in the top 5. Then we have Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland going against Michael Oleksky. I know I fucked that up, man. My apologies. Good luck. Kevin Holland, good luck. This is going to be a great fight. You're coming off your loss to MVP. Little embarrassing, but it's totally understandable because he is such a different fighter than we've ever seen in the UFC. Even different from Wonderboy Thompson, and you did have problems with Wonderboy Thompson, so it's understandable, and they're both very, very talented in what they do. So we'll see if he can get a bounce back. Michael apparently has a lot of power in his hands, and we will see how that plays out. I'm not going to go into every single fight on this card. I am going to be tuning in for the whole thing if I can. The main opener for the main card is Randy Rude Boy Brown. He's going to be going against Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos, and I know that was a lot to say, so my apologies if I got it wrong, but let me know what you think of this whole card. Early prelims, there was a lot of canceled bouts. There's only 3 on the early prelim and 4 on the prelim, and clearly a 5 straight on the main card. But regardless, this is a main event. Not even talking about the co-main, because the co-main in its own right is going to be amazing. Maybe it could possibly even steal the show, fan favorite. But reports had come out that Islam Makhachev has staph. I mean, in the embedded, the photos, the detectives were right when BSD fought Poirier the last time and he had staph. So it's only right. I mean, everything adds up to Makhachev having staph from the photos. Even in embedded, he had a sleeve over where they suspect to have staph. And we're going to find out how much that affects him, whether he's taking antibodies or not. I mean, Conor McGregor went off on him and his team, and he even just got a 50 clean test jacket, which is, to me, like, I know that Nowitzki explained how he tested positive and that it was bullshit and it was really on USADA, that he had taken something that was cleared by the UFC at the time in like 2014. But when USADA was implemented and they had their own banned substance list, they had Makhachev test hot because of him on whatever it was back in 2014, and clearly the disconnect, even though in 2014 or when he did take it, Islam, he was transparent with the UFC. It was still a problem with USADA. As you can tell, that's how he tested positive. Personally, I don't like it. I don't like the workaround, and I know you can still say the same about the workaround with John Jones, but even with the 50 clean tests, like, a lot of everyone in your family and camp have tested hot in other promotions. So it kind of makes me just like, I'm smelling some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just kind of makes me feel that way. And I hope that you're, telling the truth. Hope you're not actually tested positive. Hopefully you didn't take anything, at least to your knowledge, and you were very transparent with the UFC. I hope all that's very true. But there's that but. It just makes me think that there's something fishy, that there's something going on, that everyone in your camp, people that are related to you, kind of just test positive. So I don't understand it. Like, how many times can people around you test positive and you have a positive test that wasn't really positive? You see what I'm saying? Like, things don't add up. Let me know what you think about it, and hopefully Dustin can finish the story. In my opinion, I'm not one to root for a fighter or pick a fight. I'm a huge Strickland fan. I'm surprised Paulo is even an underdog in this, to be honest with you. But this fucking main event, I just want Dustin Poirier to go out on top. I just want him to be able to finish the story, get paid in full. You worked fucking hard for this, dude. And I just don't want you to go down a route where you jump the ghillie and then there's the problem or whatever the case is because you almost got Khabib when you guys fought. Don't do that shit. Just make sure you do your best to get this and make this a striking match where you can outbox the fuck out of him because he thinks he can outbox you because of his coach, Javier Mendez. I believe that the only loss that Islam has is because Khabib's father said he wasn't ready, but Javier Mendez said he was ready to strike with someone. Then they went out and struck with him, and he got knocked the fuck out. I believe that is a correct story. If I'm wrong, I apologize.
Моей работы, я считаю, самым большим провалом, это я согласился с Хавьером Мендезом идти в обмен, когда дрался Ислам Махачев. Он мне подошел, Ислам, может быть, я пойду в обмен, буду рисковать. Я сказал, отдай первый раунд в крайнем случае. Но ни в коем случае нельзя идти в обмен. Он очень опасен в первом раунде. На что Хавьер сказал, Ислам готов, дай ему это сделать. Я махнул головой, не соглашался. И в течение недели они уговаривали. Мой ученик и мой напарник, тренер Хавьер, я считаю, на данный момент это лучший тренер мира. После него только я в Европе и в России. Поэтому я написал в своем дневнике и заставил написать обоих. Я не был согласен с этим планом. Ислам Махачев рухнул, упал. Это первое его поражение. Поняли, да? Поэтому Исламу говорю, в последующем, если хочешь падать, иди без моего согласия.
That's his only loss on his record when he went against Khabib's father. Hopefully Islam goes in here like underestimating Dustin because it seems like it from a lot of the interviews, or he just has that much confidence in his abilities. Let me know what you think down below. And again, I don't pick fights, but I really want you to win, Dustin, because I want you to get paid in full. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.